Ang katanungan ko po ay para sa Pagcor. Kasi nung nagbigay ng direktiba ang ating Pangulo na dapat wala ng legal o illegal na Pogo, naglabas din ng statement na maraming apektado dito. So I would like to hear from the Pagcor chairman, what steps has he taken to continue with the transition of eliminating all the Pogo operations in the country, and how many Pogos will be affected? How many are actually registered Pogos? How many workers will be displaced? What can we do with those workers? And those that will be deported, do we have data on how many those are? So maybe let's begin with the transition. What are you doing now? What steps are you taking to the Pagcor chairman, please?
Chair Tenko.
Good morning, Senator Paul. Good morning, Senator Pro Tempore Jinggoy, Chairman Senator Ontiveros, and Chairman Senator Win Gatchalian. Well, in answer to your question, nung Lunes po nung gabi nung nag-utos sa SONA ang Pangulo, unfortunately hindi po kami nakapag-coordinate kaagad with the respective government agencies because of the calamity or the typhoon that happened. But I wish to report to you that starting tomorrow, we already have meetings with the different government agencies. So we're starting with DOLE. Secretary Benny Laguesma and I are having lunch tomorrow. And we will be discussing the status of the close to 40,000 who will be displaced. And on Thursday, I just got word prior to the hearing that Secretary Boying Remulla is calling for a meeting together with Pagcor, the PAOK, TF, the Bureau of Immigration, and the Department of Justice, so we could also start formulating guidelines as to how we will deal with the winding up of the operations of all. Actually, IGLs na po yun eh. So there are 44 right now because the mandate of the President is very clear. Pagcor is being mandated to wind down the operations. So in reference to even those who have the licenses we had reissued, no? And I'm referring to the IGLs. There is much confusion, and I believe a lot of news reports that are false. The mandate of the President during the SONA is very clear. It was read by Senator Gatchalian earlier, ordering Pagcor to already wind down the operations of all. And Pagcor cannot wind down the operations of all the illegals because they're not under our jurisdiction, primarily because they do not have licenses anymore. Yun naman pong IGL, na ipaliwanag ko na po ng ilang pagkakataon yan sa, hindi lang po dito sa Senado, kundi sa Kongreso din. We reissued the licenses to 44 that are left out of the 298 issued in the last administration. So, yung 44 po, yun na lang yung natirang nabigyan ng internet gaming licenses. But that is covered by the order of the President because maliwanag po wind down all the So, nag-uumpisa na po yung proseso, and with regard to your question as to how many, there are 44 as of this very moment. We have not issued any licenses in the last few months, any new ones. So, yung pong tinatanong nyo kung ilan, 44 po, at ang kasama po dito ay sila lang po yung may lihito mong lisensya sa pangkasalukuyan.
As I understand, syempre hindi naman ninyo kasama yung mga illegal dahil hindi man nakarehistro sa inyo yon. Pero I'm glad to hear that you are actually very supportive now of this directive by the President. I would just like to make sure that baka naman kasi mag-rebrand ang Pogo eh. Baka biglang magkaroon ng special class of BPOs such as that. So anything that will have to go through Pagcor, I would just like to make sure bawal na yung mga licenses for that. Kung ano pa man ang pangalan nila, Number two, ang daming mga infrastructure ng Pogos. Illegal infrastructures, because we found those that are not really registered. Maybe the government can decide what we can do with that. Baka mamaya housing na yan para sa ating mga kababayan. I mean, after we pay the proper fees for that, to be able to take over those places legally, I think it can be converted to help our countrymen. But definitely, I am in support of a possible bill in the Senate that we should file to ban any sort of pogos or anything that has related to gambling online. So that will be my only question for Pagcor, and maybe later on again for other agencies. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you rin, Sen. Grace. And salamat din sa actually maganda at baka nasisimula ng ideya ninyo na yung mga ibang vacated infrastructure ng mga Pogo na binan na nga at pinapa-wind down ni Presidente ay maaring mapakinabangan ng ating mga kababayan sa pamamagitan ng gobyerno. I'm referring to a first step in that spirit dun sa isang probisyon ng bago nating ipinasang AFASA law, yung Anti-Financial Scam Law, na may provision po doon at salamat muli kay Chair Mark na tinanggap nila yung proposed amendment ng representasyong ito na assets seized in raids in which victim survivors of human trafficking were rescued ay maaring gamitin ng mga department at o ahensya ng gobyerno para i-rehabilitate. Yes, itong mga victim survivors na to. So maraming salamat sa ideya nyo para sa posibleng mas malawak na sakop ng mga infrastructure ng mga Pogo.